Peace and blessings, y'all. This is your boy Gerald. It is 25th of November, 2016. How is everybody doing? Right off the bat, I hope that you had a blessed Thanksgiving. I put a video out and just tinkering around yesterday, late last night. Somehow I deleted it, and that was my salutations to everyone that takes the time out to one, just to hear what old Gerald has to say, the support over the years, and of course, to celebrate your life. And as well, the power of unity that should have been celebrated on that event. I was just looking at my channel and looking at the subscribers that have come and gone and reacted and respond and ask questions, and just right off the bat, I do it not only for validation for you, but most importantly, you deserve to be happy. So if anything, a voice of reason, a voice of validation, because there's only one you. I cannot echo that enough. And I just wanted to get up here this morning because, like I said, tinkering around yesterday, the Thanksgiving video that I put out, even though it was short, yeah, it was short, because when you say short might be an hour. No, it was short. Actually, it was less than 20 minutes. It was for somebody, I don't know who, but it was just validation of where you are, which was pretty much the momentum of the last two. I hope that your Thanksgiving event showed not only how unique you are, the presence you bring, but the most important ingredients required. And that's you. Love, your presence, to be there. But the power of what was being shown, because I know that there were some. You put your heart and soul into making that a peaceful event, a time for solidarity, a time for connection. But I also know that some took that, and that was the key that unlocked some things that needed to be purged. It also made things that were not aware of come to light. Let me just throw this out to you right now. If you do not realize that for who you are and where you're going, that the events that played out will have significance, even right now they may not, I can guarantee you, after time has progressed and you look back, the things that were being revealed will be ever so clear. Because the end goal is for the protection of your happiness. You do deserve to be happy. You do understand that, right? And I believe that there was a shifting of ownership and accountability through that moment that you've come together. Maybe that was evident where you thought one thing But the action was another, and that was prolific. Let me tell you something. Nobody told you to carry that spiritual backpack for them. All that you can do is pray that whatever is going on, that they have the courage, the authenticity to be vulnerable to who they are. Maybe this is the moment that they are finally allowing themselves to connect to the person who they really were the whole time. I know some of y'all saw those masks crack. Some of those masks fell off. And some just simply let go. Don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that. Because let me clarify something with you. Only thing that God ever asked you to do was prepare. And the only way you're going to be able to prepare is you have to acknowledge what you need. Therefore, that means you must allow yourself to reflect, to put forth the work, to go within those areas where you thought that you couldn't. Maybe a lot of question marks came up, and one by one, you got your answer. Maybe directly or indirectly, you were shown what needed to be worked on or what needed to be let go. See, well, let's start with this. That's you. And you see how the sun's behind that? See, everything that matters, or you thought that mattered, is coming to the light. Everything that was in the shadows are being presented and being required that an action comes to pass. Now, the question is, are you going to simply let it go by, just be oblivious? Yeah, I saw that truck go right past this room, and okay, who's going to pass the stuffing? Or are you going to break those shackles and that perpetual cycle that has been going on for quite some time now? You put the brakes on. You acknowledge it. And you place your foot down to claim that rightful placement. I mean, we are talking about your legacy, right? And being that, I think a lot of you will understand that there were some people that sold you magic beans or put themselves off as one thing, but come to find out that they were the problem the whole time. It's not meant for you to sit there and judge, because what did God say? Judge, be judged. And let's be real. We live in an environment that 95% of the people that walk on this planet don't want the world to see who they really are, because they find comfort in that alter ego, that pride, that persona, and that's false empowerment. Really is nothing but enablement, because that's what's the motivation that keeps the cycle to continue to live. Is it worth your sanity? Is it worth the emotional upheaval, the up and down, the constant arguing and bickering, when actually you could all you had to do was say no? You know that power, the word no. A lot of people think the word no means forever, but really the word no means under review. So why are you accepting and claiming something that will never stand the test of time? I hope that yesterday, just for a mere moment, you were able to sit down, have those conversations, reconnect, and see the power of your lineage. Those you are connected to by blood and bone, and those who are connected by spirit. And through that process, you were able to see the unity compared to the imitation. Some can't do it. Some people are terrified, and they're banking that you will do nothing. Let me tell you something. God's got something better for you. He's always had something better for you. But the truth of the matter is, if you don't treat that desire like the air you breathe, it can never, ever come to pass. It can't. If you don't see value in it, why will your reality do? If you don't demand respect by respecting yourself, why do you expect your reality to? If you're not loving yourself, does it surprise you that they're acting as if you're non-existent? Let me tell you something. As you've heard the parable, it takes more muscles to create a frown than a smile, actually 205. Doesn't that resonate that people are putting energy out to hate? And really, the things that they hate are trying to project to convince you that they hate is really themselves. It's those behaviors that they have yet to master. That's why there's so many still to this day, 2016, that are not comfortable in their own skin. They're quick to make excuses why, when, and how, and this is the outcome instead of being still and claiming what is rightfully theirs, your life. You only get one. So when you going to start? How can you call yourself strong if you can't support yourself when you are vulnerable? You're weak. And what I mean by weak is not physically, I'm talking about emotionally. Those not so feel good moments. Those are the times that you need to be on point. Not giving energy to things that are relevant and won't matter tomorrow. So, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Many of you will be waking up, foraging in the refrigerator, going over the countertops, waiting for the microwave to heat it up or the stove, the burner to warm it up, just so that you consume the delicacies that you have prepared, which was made out of love. When are you going to do that for yourself? Think about just literally think about it this way. Think about the time and effort that you took just now, leading up or even day of, for the outcome. It doesn't matter about the monetary means of the preparation. The preparation was defined by your time, your placement in that time, and the efforts that was given freely. Doesn't matter if it was sharing a happy meal on a park bench. You were there. Have you given it any thought of where you're going to be next year? Because I'm going to tell you what, there are going to be those that'll be circling their spiritual wagons, preparing that unified front to ensure that you don't. Yeah, this is where Gerald turns the corner and points things out. See, while people are banging the gongs to the come and get it now while it lasts, who's banging the gong for you? Instantaneous conversations are past and unions made are resurfacing now. Like a new spinoff of Dawn of the Dead, you're hearing from people you ain't heard from a time and a moment. For what? Instantaneous gratification, not something that is made forever, which is you. Now, I'll tell you this. Pride will not get you nowhere but more of the same. Who am I talking to? And there are going to be a lot of people this morning that are going to be pissed off because they were preemptively waiting for you to act, respond, in a certain behavior, and the delivery did not come. And they shook. They're very out of sync because now, more importantly, they had to accept the fact that who they thought you were was off center for the good or for the bad. And they are thinking about you now. Oh, yes, they're thinking about you. They're trying to reach through the ethers of what justification and excuse that they can render to justify or match your behavior. That's not your responsibility. It never was. As I echoed time and time again, and I'll keep doing it till my last breath, where love does not exist, nor is growth. Maybe now you'll finally have the courage to see it for what it is. Because they didn't wake you up. He woke you up. Wide-eyed and bushy-tailed. He got you feeling a certain kind of way. Why? There's work still to be done. The question is, will you do it? Will the end product match the effort invested? Or will you let another opportunity of the makings of you to slip by? Now, I don't have to tell you what's facing or waiting for you outside your door. But I do have to tell you that you have a choice on how do you respond to it. I can also tell you right off the bat, 2017 is going to be a prolific year because what was hidden will be revealed. What was lost will be unearthed. What was said will be a little bit more clear. The question should be asked, how will you embrace it? Or not to. For some, This will be your greatest undertaking because you're going to have to do something you didn't think you could do. And you may be feeling a certain kind of way. Just make sure whatever that emotional temperature is going on, there's faith there. There's optimism there. And there is clarity there. So think of it this way. If you're building your life like a Jenga board game, what they're doing is pulling at the foundation. They're checking to see what is loose. They're trying to find placement where they can put more division. You want to nip that in the bud? I can't stress it. It all starts and ends with him. I heard something today while I was on YouTube. It was an interview that Mike Epps had done when he was doing a promo for the movie he had done. He was a part of Sparkle, which was the last movie that the world got to witness legend Whitney Houston in. And while he was promoting the movie, he kind of went to the right and said, well, you know, I'm focused now because I understand that the only way the devil can have access to you is through people. And it made me ponder for a second because you're right. See, the devil has always been a person that works with the shadows. He works with fear. He works with resentment and anger. He works with pride. And he fortifies that with ego. But it can't be implemented without another human being. He can't get access to you if you don't give access to them. So what it boils down to is, who are you giving access to? Have they earned the right to know your middle name? Have they invested the time to understand where you're headed? How about what's required to fortify your dreams? For some, they're terrified. For others, they simply don't care. And for a minute amount of people, you're able to see them for who and what they are. But, you still have free will of choice how they are to be played out. Are they your lesson or are they your blessing? Do they empower you or do they enable you? Because a person that empowers you won't give you excuses. They give you actions. And a person that enables you simply does not want you to grow. They want to keep you exactly where you are. I know some of you right now, you said, this is the last go, Gerald. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of having to stuff my feelings inside me only to walk away somewhere to release. You was never supposed to do that to begin with. If you felt safe. So now the spiritual veil is starting to fall, starting to pull open, just like an old time movie theater. I said this a long time ago because that's what's going to happen for a lot of you. One day y'all going to have your epiphany and you're going to see your life from where you've come from to where you're going, defined by where you are at this very moment. Some of y'all don't realize you were born to be innovators, natural geniuses, and the world needs you. But before the world has the benefit to prosper off of what you're going to bring to the table, you got to nurture what's already there within you. So that means you got to sit at that table. Maybe this is the moment that you're going to finally put it out there. Look at all the things that made your highs, your lows. Because you know we only use 6% of our brain, but we don't forget. Because we're meant to forgive. That's it. To prepare. See, what's going on, y'all? For those who have been doing the work, your spirit is demanding you to evolve. Well, anything that evolves has to go up, to ascend. Why? Because your real you is demanding placement on this earthly realm. And the question should be asked, why not? What took you so long? And I say that out of love because some of y'all need to be shook. Some of y'all need to be hugged. Some of y'all need to hear the words of, it's going to be all right. You can do it. Just believe. But see, that is also the part of manifestation. So many people fail to, they overlook that. They overlook the fact that you can manifest anything you put your mind to. Maybe that's the reason why the slogan that United Negro College Fund tried to umbrella and say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, but really it applies to mankind. Because love has no color. Love has no gender. Because it's about spirit. We are what we attract. So if you're constantly in the treadmill of ups and downs, I say get off of it. So what? When you jump off of it, you fall down and you scrape your toe or you scrape your knee or you rub your elbow. So what? Get off of it. Because two things are going to happen when you decide to get off of it. All the people that did not support you ain't getting off. And that will give you an opportunity with fresh eyes to see them. The choice is, will you decide to join them? Now, With that being said, tell me again why you don't think you're beautiful. Tell me again why you don't think you're great. Tell me again why you don't love yourself. Why are you giving so much power of yourself to someone that didn't even deserve to hear you breathe? Because of what they brought to the table. What they brought to the table was nothing but a lure to get you from off of your feet. And haven't you noticed? The closer you get to them or their attributes, it always falls apart. You know why? Because he had something better. So you got to make a choice. Don't worry about who doesn't have access to you right now, who's not on the phone with you right now, who you don't see right now. Don't worry about that. Because, see, that's focus. That's spiritual energy from you reaching out to someone that will not reciprocate it back. You can't love a brick wall, but a lot of you are married to one. Who am I talking to? Seems like every time you try to have a heart to heart or want to speak truth, they shut you down. That is nothing but an illusion. That is nothing but really them non-verbally saying, I have yet to master that. But we all have a choice now, don't we? Some of y'all going to turn around and actually contemplate going in debt for someone that does not make you smile or bring the best you out. Oh, I'm going to go and get her this because I know that she'll appreciate it. Till the luster's done, till the allure is gone, till the selfish intentions have been revealed. And that's usually what happens. What happens? You go back to square one, racking your brain. Why did I spend my money on you? Why did I give you my time? And got you at a lower frequency. You do understand that the spirit gives off two frequencies. Love, which is higher, and lower, which is hate, resentment, ego, lust, and destruction. See, right now the devil thinks he's winning. And see, some of y'all don't see that truck with the engine running, waiting for you to walk outside your door, to step off that sidewalk so it can run you right over to your next pain. All I can say to you is this, because I know some of you have already emotionally shut down. And some of you are doing this because you're more loyal to your pain, because it's consistent. That's why the behavior is everlasting. And you're saying, well, Gerald, you know what? That's just who they are. But you got a choice to embrace that. And the real question should be asked this. If they were your friend, who am I talking to? Why would they put you at risk? Why would they compromise your integrity, your self-worth? your state of being, because of how you sashay across the room, because his pockets seem endless. Let me tell you something, queens. A real man don't wear his wealth. He invests it. And maybe that's the reason why he hasn't married you. Because part of him is holding out, or worse, part of his heart is across town. This goes for you too. It takes humility and being vulnerable with your emotions. See, guys, let me explain something to you. It doesn't matter if you're swinging a big piece of wood and you got it going on today and you are the flavor of the month. Guess what? It matters not when you're sick. It matters not when you just want to wake up in the wee hours in the morning and pick the phone up and say, hey, I'm thinking about you. How are you? It matters not when your mind is playing emotional ping pong and you just want clarity. How about that truth? Even Einstein said it best. For a person to do the same behavior, expecting a different outcome, that is the definition of insanity. So who's going crazy? When in actuality, you know they don't give a damn about you, only what you bring to the table. Why are you allowing people to rob you of your essence? Why do you think we age? 50% of it is atmospheric because of the earthly realm that we live in. That is why things are dying. That's why we're aging. And why you see some people seems like they look the same way they did when they were in their 20s, in their teens. What is it that they're doing that they've tapped into? I guarantee you a nickel to a dime. It's because they value their life. So you gonna value yours? Because some of y'all are waiting on that emotional furlough. Some of y'all are waiting for that reduced sentence. And some of y'all are waking up and you're saying, this is not what I signed up for. How did I get here? Why do I feel alone in a room full of people? That was somebody's reality yesterday. But it takes courage to admit it to yourself. So what I'm telling you, what I'm conveying to each and every one of you, because I know that you've already started to manifest where you're headed. I commend you. I commend you. Keep doing the work. And all those things that were keeping your feet planted, but one foot wants to go forward, them shackles are going to come off. Why? Because you already had the key. The key was already found inside you. It just required the motivation to see it. So listen. Now you believe, now you finally can accept that God exists. Now some of you can finally admit the devil is a lie. Because as long as you are able to breathe, that means you're alive. And no matter what your challenges is, you can master them. See, I know today, and I'm going to bring this home because I done ran my mouth long enough because I love each and every one of you. I pray for your happiness. You deserve to be happy. And I know some of y'all are doing time in your mind or in environments that you put yourself in. So if you put yourself in, you can take yourself out. Some think that they got to burn the barn down just to make a statement. The greatest statement that you can ever give is silence. That's for somebody. Maybe now is the moment that you finally take note of what has occurred. Look at the patterns. Look at the placement of you and the concessions that were made. Some people, that takes an act of Congress for them to admit to themselves, hey, I didn't see that sign. All is lost. No, it's not. And it was never lost. That means you need to love more. It's not your responsibility to fix them. It's your responsibility to prepare you. So when they decide to say, que sera, sera, get out of their way. When they decide to finally speak their truth, listen. And when they decide to show you what you did not see, take it in. Look at where you've been, because that may be your validation of the direction that was already under your feet, but you were distracted. I'm just saying, you can't buy your happiness. There's no such thing as a 2-for-1 coupon, because those same people, after the holiday season has done and the machine has been turned off to get your revenue, will be standing in an endless line to return it. You're worth everything. You're priceless. So the real question I need to ask, what is it going to take to love you? Because you already know what don't. And you also have to admit to yourself, you've got work still. You didn't think that that one thing that you was afraid was going to come out was going to go away, did you? See, that's how that devil works. He convinces you to believe that, nah, but I don't speak on it. It'll just go away. No, that just brings you one step away from what matters most, and that's your life. I'm just saying. And let me make this clear, and I'm going to shut this down. If you look at the titles of my videos, they were intentionally done without thought. Those titles are messages for somebody. That's why I always put in the discussion box for the intended heart, intended mind, because I'm trying to reach your spirit. You don't need anyone's permission to be happy. Just like you don't need anybody's, like, for example, let's laugh at this. Or let's make this light. If you know who you are in here, what's keeping you from who you are out here? Did you hear me? If you know who you are in here, what's keeping you from out here? Because you're needed out here. I'm not even going to go into a tangent of the people that are going to come behind you. How about your lineage? Come on, kings. Your name was given for a reason. Your family needs you. That sweet distraction don't give a damn about you. Some of y'all may be laying next to someone that is barren. Who am I talking to? And I'm not even talking about on the level of conceiving. I'm talking about spiritual. They have made a willful contract within themselves that, you know what? Darkness is who I am. And everybody that comes in my path, their lives always downward spiral. There's a reason for it. Yeah, there is a reason for it. You just gave a pass for the devil to destroy you from the inside out. But hey, what do I know? It's just your happiness. And I feel this right now. This is for somebody. Stop putting focus on what you see outside your door and put that same effort inside you. Because you're being deceived. You're thinking if you walk, talk, act a certain way, that's going to get you elevated to a position that is not for you. And if you just ground your feet, watch what occurs, and you're going to be grateful that you didn't do it. And this is for somebody else. You want to see tomorrow? Before the outer can change, you got to change the inside. Yeah, you know, those addictions. You mad at yourself and your behavior is showing what's going on inside, and that's why behind closed doors, you got an eating disorder. Really, that's nothing but hormones. That is really, you're trying to feed that emotion because you think that, well, as long as I eat, I feel happy. That ain't nothing but that dopamine inside your brain. Same thing with somebody that has a sexual addiction. Come on. You actually convince yourself, well, you know what? I am a serial cheater, girl, and I just can't get enough. And I like new things. Let me tell you something, cowboy. Next to your name, what you're supposed to protect is your seed. Not everybody is supposed to have it. So why are you taking this time to disrespect her? King, stop disrespecting the mother of your children. Queens, you know what it means to be a queen? It means you got to respect yourself by nurturing yourself. You can't nurture yourself till you embrace yourself. That means you got to love you. You're not going to find happiness playing matchmaker with your hair, changing up. See, listen, you stay on that path if you want to, and you're going to end up like all these women out here looking like Muppets in 20 years. You see it already. You see it. Playing Frankenstein with what God made perfect. But what was made beautiful is inside you. So, with that being said, say this. Stop depriving yourself of what you need. I know there was somebody spent all this time, I feel this, spent all this time in the kitchen preparing food, and you had a little saucer bowl of, if you want to eat, go eat. Go eat. But just know this, anything that we do, it has to have a balance. If you want to get in shape, you can't get in shape until you take the first step to walk into the gym. But first, you got to claim it. You got to claim it. And that's a point that a lot of people are missing because they think that being superficial is a one-up when actually that is 5 steps down. Them same people that you see out here today going to be replaced by somebody more gullible tomorrow, but there's only one you. It doesn't matter how much you swing around them, swing on the chandeliers and what you're doing behind closed doors. Because listen, if he or she doesn't respect you, they're going to exploit you. Who am I talking to? And let me throw this caveat on that. Let's just say that's already occurred. Why are you walking around with your head down? They promised you the moon, but gave you the stars and left you with the pieces. Learn from the experience and keep growing. Because where love is, there is no stagnation. I think you're worth it. God's praying for you. You know I am. I see your worth. And for that, it helps me discern mine. 2017, oh yeah, I got something for that. That's going to come in its due time. But don't be afraid. As long as you stay afraid, you stay stagnant. As long as you stay stagnant, there's no growth. And where there's no growth, there's no hope. And that ain't you. And I also told you, queens, the human body is made perfect. 46 chromosomes from your dad and your mother. 23 makes the left and right of you, made you perfect. Stop playing with your health. Because see, guess what? The human body, you may have heard people say muscle memory. Why do you think we have white blood cells? It is to protect the DNA code. So guess what? What is a house without a door? I'll tell you what it is. A disappointment. Be blessed.